When will people learn? Why is anyone giving any merit to the leaks? Where's our 103 Alolan Pokemon? Where's our 126 Alolan Pokemon? Where's our Rainbow Greninja that was supposed to be on the last day of Worlds on August 21st? No, just as one leak gets disproven, another two sprout up because there's no punishment to it if you get it wrong, which is the dumbest thing. Remember, you need to start holding people accountable for when they cover things that are obviously fake. Now this again, taking a little bit of all the leaks that we've seen up to this point, taking the most plausible, and just taking another shotgun approach at it. Hey, maybe one of these will be true, therefore I can act credible, boom. Now, this started on 4chan, so whatever you hear about the newest leaks, it came from 4chan, 4chan, where we had that Pokedex thing being disproven. Also, the most recent leaks. 4chan is like 0 for 4 on like obviously fake leaks, and probably like 0 for 10 on attempted leaks, if not more at this point. Why trust 4chan? Like, it's just trolls, and it's anonymous trolls that keep trolling harder just to be funny like that. Now, here's the thing. This thread is archived. You cannot reply anymore because the way that 4chan works is if something doesn't get posted for long enough, it just gets deleted off the site, and it can only be saved through being archived. So someone went archive this one, which is the only reason why we have it now. But it was brought up recently because in response to PokeJungle covering this, someone said posted literally on this board first. So that means people that were on VP didn't even notice the 4chan post happening, and because it got taken away, but then it was archived, which means it's kind of hard to find. Like, I had to do a lot of searching, and I only found this, I believe, through this post or another post talking about the leak. So, we've come full circle. Yeah, that's like how this feels right now, is that, people are going on 4chan, forgetting that was a 4chan leak, and then spreading it like, hey, what do you guys think about this? So, pretty silly. Now we go to the PokeJungle thing, and man, PokeJungle, they're not happy with me right now for calling them out on the fakes and stuff, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. But here's the thing. When you have to say stuff like, luckily I put a bold, this is still unconfirmed in the post, huh? On something that was already proven fake, that doesn't give a lot of credibility right there, I believe. Also, same with this, if you have to put all these rumors and all these alerts and all these things, and here's the thing, like, oh man, this looks so legit that you have all these pictures right here. Well, the pictures came from the post. Pretty much what happened was someone would ask a question, OP would be like, OP here, this is what I remember about the Pokemon. There's your Alolan Arcanine. Yeah, remember all those leaks? Like 10 people have said that Alolan Arcanine is going to be water. None of them have been confirmed though, and most of them have already been in parts of fake leaks. So we're just going to keep going with the water Arcanine because it'd be cool. This time it's got wavy patterns, so it's legit, guys. And then, it's some art. Like, this isn't official art. This is just the person, like, I also magically know how to draw and stuff, so check out my art skills for all these fakes. I want to be real. Yep. That's a thing. And then, we gotta have the Alolan Wheezing that looks like a fire volcano thing. I mean, I've already seen like 10 fan arts for Alolan Wheezing on fire types. People aren't even being legit, or not even legit. People aren't being creative anymore. So yeah, we have Pick a Pack. So pretty much all the art that you see on PokeJungle came from 4chan. But the interesting thing is, we do not claim the information supposed to be real or legitimate. Well, then why even cover it to that degree? Also, I mean, there's no sources. The only thing that it says, an anonymous user has posted a list claiming to share new details about Pokemon Sun and Moon. Are you afraid to post the source? Because I'm seeing all these other, every person I've seen talk about these leaks, they're posting it and saying that PokeJungle is covering it, that PokeJungle is the source. No, PokeJungle failed to show the source, and I wonder if it's because they're scared. That, if you show the source to be 4chan, no one's even going to give it any credence anymore, because when did 4chan get it right? I honestly want to know. Did that happen once in X and Y or Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire? And also for the one time they maybe get it somewhat right, there's 100 times where it doesn't, because you can't trust this site. You can't trust people wanting to troll. So it's all the same information right here. You've not heard everything about PokeRide. There'll be quite a few mini games involving various Pokemon. You can ride Alolan Arcanine on extremely hot waters, which you can't surf on. So, it's like Arcanine because it has the fire typings from before. Well, now Alolan Arcanine's water, so it can go through steamy water and whatnot. That just sounds fake. You'll get 4 totem battles in total. Gumshoe, Lurantis. Well, I mean, we already know about these. I don't know if Wishy-Washy was hinted, and then a pure fire feminine looking pig with lava flowing all over. Also, I want to go and talk about the new starters, or like the drawing for these starters, because those are absolutely really silly. It looks like people forgot what the first stage of the Pokemon looked like and then just took it to the next level. Here we go. This right here. So, what? This, like, here's the thing. You look at these Pokemon, and it doesn't look like they go from first stage to second. It looks like they go from third stage to second. That if you take the unconfirmed, potentially real, like, images of the final evolutions, yeah, it looks like the final evolution for Litten can come from that. The final evolution for Popplio can come from that. Like, it looks like the natural evolution progression, but it looks like people forget, like, oh, for the sake of making a leak, I'm just going to forget about the real information and then start basing it off of the fake information. It's just really silly. I honestly don't know how much people can talk about these leaks, because every time something else happens, it's kind of the same. Like, the leaks are almost based off of each other to try to get the most plausible information, even though the leaks turn out to be fake, which doesn't make any sense to me. It's like, oh, this wasn't a leak that turned out to be fake, but if I keep saying it, people are going to keep wanting to believe it. And then if you're doing a discussion on the leaks, then you're not opening up to any discussion otherwise. You're just reacting to something that's not going to be in the game. I prefer to see theory videos on things like, oh man, what I want to see in Pokemon Sun, you know, top 10 features I want to see, instead of just reacting to someone else's top 10 that they're trying to like force as something real and whatnot. And yeah, just a lot of the people talking about it, they're just like fake, you know, all this just weird information and badness right here. So I don't even understand what the point of posting at this point. Like, if every piece of false information comes along that you post for real, like, what is there to gain? Like, all of it recently has been proven false pretty rapidly, and the only thing I can do is, the only thing I imagine is people doing it for clicks, because, I mean, you put a water-type Arcanine in your thumbnail, you say, oh my god, look at these leaks, because, again, I say this every video, leaks imply that there's something official about it. These are fakes, these are rumors at the very, very most optimistic. That we have no credibility right here. We have nothing that could potentially say anything like that. And everyone's just like, yo, if I use the leaks tag, I'm gonna get more views, I'm gonna pop off, and then if it turns out to be true, then I am a Pokemon god. And if it turns out to be fake, well, you can't fault us, right? Good thing I put that little disclaimer right there. I already cashed out on those views. It doesn't make any sense. And I'm not just only singling out PokeJungle. I've done this for other sites, other YouTubers that are putting out the fake information. It's just the problem is PokeJungle has gained the most momentum off of people covering the fakes. So naturally everyone's going to cite that, but this one was really bad because PokeJungle hasn't been putting any sources, which is really sketchy, and then that's why people are going and ending it on PokeJungle. That if PokeJungle posted the source, then there'd be someone else to take blame for, because I had to dig for this, and no one else. I've seen other videos, I've seen other articles, I've seen other posts about these leaks, and no one else has talked about this coming from 4chan, and I don't know why, except maybe that it would make their video look a lot more fake, because 4chan has not had a good track record for giving us real information in any media, not even just Pokemon, but any game leaks and any kind of things that are rumored to be true. Also, like, PokeJungle's really stepped it up, you know, please read this post, you know, please read that's a rumor alert, and then there's reactions to all of the information. I mean, don't even call it rumors, don't even call it leaks. Just call it, like, speculation, observations at that point, and try not to sell any of it as something for clickbait, as something to get people going to the site, because it's just promoting more people to want to make leaks. That's what my big deal, that's what my issue is with all of this, that the more people that give this coverage in a positive or even a speculative manner, you know, I'm going out here, I'm crushing this immediately. I'm like, guys, this is fake. Stop following fakes. But if someone's like, maybe this could be true, that's what the leakers want, and that's what's going to encourage other people to make fakes. Well, it's what the fakers want, and that's going to encourage more fakes to make fakes, because they just want to get their troll moment off. Even though they're completely anonymous, they still do it for a reason, because they get something out of it. And if you get one thing right, you know, then you get to be like, called it. Because, I mean, wow, what if I just said, hey, I had the inside information. I knew Z version was never going to happen. Called it. You know, I just made my theories, I made my speculation, and then that turned out to be cool. But other than that, guys, yeah, more leaks. Stay safe out there. Don't get misled. Get ready for more leaks and stuff. We don't know when the next confirmed Pokemon news is. They've been doing it on the 1st and like / the 30th, like 30th, 31st, 1st, depending on when the information comes out. So we might get a new batch right there. We got a lot though with Gamescom and Worlds revealing new Pokemon as well. Korokoro is going to have a Rockruff coverage, so all this stuff about Rockruff, we'll figure out about that. I mean, I saw the picture down here, I believe, like, you know, I don't think this Rockruff is potentially real because it has a cross on its chest. I don't think Pokemon would bring religious symbols even to make something like that. Like, that's the Rockruff evolution, and apparently some kind of factor is what causes its evolution to be different. I mean, this is going off of the Chinese leaks. So Chinese leaks, which speculated the like final evolutions through the image and stuff, through like that leaked picture that we saw with the confidential on it of like wrestler Litten stuff. Well, people like saw in that leaks that they said, oh, Rockruff has like a werewolf slash split evolution. So all the follow-up leaks are trying to, or all the follow-up fakes are trying to bandwagon onto that. And really, you know, I think it's just starting to get really excessive. When you cover every leak, it devalues the purpose of it. That, you know, if you're covering the ones that have merit, or at least you're being somewhat selective about it, it at least makes it a little more interesting. But now everyone's just on it for the views, you know. Hey, this is fake. Get wrecked instead of, oh my god, leaks, could this be real? Yo, let's do a discussion video on this. I don't get it, guys. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Hope y'all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.